My boss stole my promotion in front of me with a smile over a printed org chart, and she genuinely thought I'd just accept it. We were in a meeting room. Rachel slid the chart across the table, like she was doing me a favour. There was my name, same box I'd been in for 3 years. 3 years of building the operations team from 4 people to 19, of covering 2 directors who left, of saving the biggest client the company nearly lost. And above my name, in a shiny new box that had never existed before, was hers. Director of Operations. That was my job. 4 months earlier, the CEO had told me, that exact role was being created for me. I read it twice. I looked up at her. She was still smiling. We felt the timing was right to restructure, she said. You'll still run the day-to-day. Nothing really changes for you. Nothing really changes for you. I'd heard that line before. My first ever manager said something like it when she took credit for 2 months of my work. I was 24 and I said nothing. I am not 24 anymore. I'll think about it over the weekend, I said. Of course, Rachel said smoothly. Take your time. Your contribution is so valued. This is just organisational maturity. That's all it is. She had a little speech ready. That told me she'd rehearsed this. That told me she'd planned it. I folded the chart in half, put it in my bag, and walked back to my desk. Then I opened my email and searched for a message from 18 months ago. There it was, from the CEO, every word intact. My contribution had been exceptional. The board had noted it specifically. There were conversations underway about a permanent structure built around my expertise. I'd printed that email the day it arrived and saved it to my personal laptop. Not because I expected this, because something in the wording told me one day it might matter. I forwarded it to my personal email, timestamped. Then I called Donna, who'd left the company 2 years ago and still heard everything. I know about the restructure, she said before I could speak. She's been planning it since January. Talked to 2 board members in February. Someone was in the room. January. While I'd been putting out fires she took credit for. What are you going to do? Donna asked. I don't know yet, I said. That was a lie. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I just needed the weekend to do it right. Monday morning I got in before anyone else and I sent one email. Not to Rachel, not to HR, to Philip, the CEO. Subject line, my career development, for your attention. Then I waited. I knew Rachel would see it. Her desk was near mine and she watched the CEO's calendar like a hawk watches a field. At 12:30 she appeared, holding a coffee she had not made me since my first week here. I thought we could have a chat about the new structure, she said, before your meeting with Philip. Get in front of it, manage me, shape the story, before the CEO heard mine. I think I'd rather wait, I said. She put the coffee down. She stood there a beat too long. Then she left, and I thought, the thing that gives people away isn't what they do, it's the order they do it in. Rachel had built the new company structure before she had the authority to. She'd printed the chart before the CEO signed anything off. She'd assumed that by the time anyone looked closely, it would all feel normal. She hadn't counted on that email sitting in Philip's own sent folder. When I walked into his office on Wednesday, it was already on his desk, printed. He'd found it himself. He's the kind of man who reads before he speaks. Walk me through what you understood was agreed, he said. I did, calmly. No drama. The email, the 18 months, the 40% growth, the org chart, with her name where mine should be. He listened without interrupting. He made 2 notes. Who approved this restructure? He asked. Rachel presented it to the board. He nodded, slowly. Who approved it? He asked again. Same words, different weight on the last one. And I understood. The answer wasn't the board. Somewhere between her plan and that printed chart, a signature was missing. She'd moved the pieces before anyone with the authority said she could. Give me until the end of the week, Philip said. I said of course, and I walked back to my desk, and I said nothing to anyone. I gave him the week. And I did not say one word to Rachel that I didn't have to. She couldn't stand it. She came by my desk on Tuesday about a project that didn't need her. She emailed me Wednesday about a process she hadn't touched in months. She was taking the temperature of the room, and I gave her a blank wall to read. Friday, 4 o'clock, Philip called me in. Rachel wasn't there. The org chart on his desk had been reprinted. My name was in a new box, at the level hers had been. The title underneath it said Director of Operations. Her box was gone. Just gone. We reviewed the restructure, Philip said. The process wasn't followed correctly. The truth is, the conversations about this role were always about you. I'm sorry it was handled the way it was. He asked if I had any questions. I had one. Is the structure now as you intended? It is, he said. I shook his hand and walked back to my desk. Rachel resigned the following Tuesday. Pursuing other opportunities, the announcement said. There was cake in the kitchen at lunch. I was in a client meeting and couldn't make it. I sent her a short message wishing her well. She didn't reply. I've been Director of Operations for 14 months now. The team is 23 people. Every quarter, Philip stands up in the all-staff meeting and calls the operations function one of the company's core strengths. He doesn't say my name when he does it. He doesn't need to. Everybody in that room already knows. Here's what she got wrong. She thought that if she moved fast enough and smiled hard enough, nobody would check the paperwork. But quiet people check the paperwork. Quiet people keep the email. She underestimated exactly how carefully I could move when it actually mattered. Has someone ever mistaken your silence for weakness? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more complete stories with no part twos that never come, follow the page. New story every day.